My name is Charlie Purcell. I'm here with Lucy Petry from Houston, Texas. She is a tax attorney and a CPA. And today we're going to be mostly discussing about the Corporate Transparency Act that's coming into play very soon. But before I get into that, Lucy, with you, what was your motivation as to why you attended law school?
Yeah, I have been a CPA for about 10 years, and for a long time, I had been managing a clinic helping low-income families, and clients would come through with really serious tax problems, and I really wanted to help them, but I didn't have the credentials or the skills. And that was my motivation to go to law school. I just wanted to do more for my clients.
So one of the new laws that's going into effect is the Corporate Transparency Act. Can you tell us a little bit about the ramifications for businesses and what they can start doing to plan for?
Yeah, it's a great question. This law is going to require the business owners or entities to report to the federal government beneficial owners. Beneficial owner is the term of art, and it's anybody who owns 20% or more of the company or exercises substantial influence over the company. The companies or the individuals are going to have to go online to a federal government website and disclose this information to the government.
So what are some of the penalties, for example, if they do not comply? Because this is similar to the FinCEN rate.
Exactly. Yeah, that's exactly like it's the same platform, it's the same place. If you're familiar with the FBARs, the foreign bank account reporting, it's the same place. The penalties right now are $500 a day. There's a cap, I don't remember exactly what the cap is, but what concerns me the most is that right now there's no process or mechanism to ask for forgiveness of these penalties. And so that is very concerning. Other programs, other taxes and penalties with the government, usually there's a process to ask for forgiveness if you could not comply with the law for whatever reason. But this law so far doesn't have this mechanism.
Any penalty abatement or any?
There's no penalty abatement as of today. I mean, we are here late October of 2023. And right now, we're 2 months away from this law going into effect, and there's no process.
So a business will have to file what time by 2024?
Yeah, so if your business is started after January 1st of 2024, you will have 30 days to file. If you started before 2024, you are going to have 1 year to disclose this information. If you started before 2024 and you filed and then you had a change, or if you started after 2024 and you had a change, anytime there's a change in information, you have 30 days to report as well.
Wow, okay. So in terms of your clients, you've been informing them of this new act and that we have to comply. There are some people that are types of businesses that are excluded, I guess, from the regulations. Can you talk about a little bit about those?
Yeah, so businesses with 20 or more employees and $5 million or more in revenue and offices in the United States are excluded. Okay. Also nonprofits, publicly traded companies, mostly large businesses are not going to be subject to this law. It really affects small businesses. Yeah.
Right. And so you obviously do a lot of tax resolution, helping not only with state issues but mainly federal issues. Do you think they're going to put forth some type of abatement or some type of forgiveness for those, because a lot of these, it's going to impact very small businesses.
Yeah, I'm really worried for the mom and pop shops, right? Like the little bodega in the corner or the little dry cleaners. I'm very concerned for those, and I do think they will put a process in place. When the FBAR came about, I think it was around 2008-ish, the government did have a program, the Overseas Voluntary Disclosure, and you could come clean and disclose your foreign bank accounts and not have penalties. So I do expect they will have something similar.
Okay. And now in terms of getting into FBARs, so your firm will help with filing FBARs as well, and potentially asking for forgiveness, or you want to talk a little bit more about?
Yeah, absolutely. There are different FBAR programs right now, and they depend on whether whether the individual did not file willfully or intentionally. And also depends whether they were in the United States or outside the United States. So yes, there are different programs for the FBAR filers. A common situation that I come across is somebody who was born in the United States but has lived their entire life overseas and did not know that they had a requirement to disclose their bank account overseas where they are living, or vice versa. Somebody who lives in America, is a U.S. citizen, but has a family member overseas that opened a bank account on their behalf, and they just simply did not know.
Right.
Yeah.
So in terms of getting back to the Corporate Transparency Act, I mean, what is involved in terms, is it a pretty extensive process in terms of filing? Do they have guidance out on that already, or?
There's not a whole lot of guidance yet. They have not opened the platform for us to start filing or to start training on that platform. I do expect it will be somewhat simple, a simple filing, if there is one or two layers of ownership. If we have companies that own other companies that own other companies in different jurisdictions, I think that would be pretty complicated.
Right. Now, do you think also they put this forward, put this Corporate Transparency Act into law because of money laundering? Because, does this affect, obviously, the Delaware, you used to have your shroud of your LLC, right? You can put in Delaware or Delaware C Corp, but does that just make that information accessible to the government, right? It's not going to make it public to like you or me.
Right. So I think this is actually, as a matter of fact, part of the Anti-Money Laundering Act. So the purpose is to catch the shell companies that are operating in the United States and hiding money or funding terrorism. I think that's the original purpose of this. I could see it used to find tax evasion as well. It's going to be available to the federal government and other law enforcement agencies by request. So no, it won't necessarily end or anonymity in owning LLCs in Delaware or Wyoming. Yeah, that's another one. I don't think it will make the information available to the public.
Okay.
But it could be potentially available to local law enforcement.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.